Hey, good evening, y'all. Hope you've had a good day. I tell you, lately I've had a few bad headaches, and this was one of those days. Thankfully, it broke. Uh, whew, I'm about over that. It's getting fewer and further between, so I can't complain. So it's our little Summer's birthday, and was wondering what we should do for the 4th. I've never done a live. I thought about, would y'all be interested in having a live for her birthday and some of y'all coming up and us just talking about everything? Let me know what you think about that. That was just one idea I had. I am preparing a little thing for her, and want to release some balloons, some purple balloons, and a little note that I've written to her. Um, but y'all let me know about that. I was, I'm always thinking, but I don't know if I always express it the way that I want to. But there's, I don't understand um, so many things about this case. It's so twisting and weird and bizarre, and um, there's just so many people that keep getting added into this. And, that area is a bad area. There are uh, drug dealers. There's been murders. There's uh, been uh, SA a lot through generations. Incest. Could go on and on. Anything that you can think of, it's been there in the Ben Hill Beach Creek area. It is a rough area. There is a lot of rough people in that area. And it was recently brought up that there was somebody on Beach Creek that's in witness protection, and I don't know how much stock you can put into that, but just it's on and on. The criminal activity, it's like everybody is a criminal. Now, I'm not going to say everybody, because I'm sure there's a lot of decent people down there, but there is a lot of criminal activity as well. It is a beautiful area. Such a shame. But, you know, Cher had mentioned something, that there was a discussion by Dawn about $1 million. Now, you have to take everything that everyone says with a grain of salt, because they all have like these backgrounds, and you just can't take anything to the bank. You can't. It's like every time somebody talks, you have to weigh it. It's like, is it true? Is it not true? You know, everything. And even like Jody Sue, she's always adding a little, adding a little, adding a little to her story, or that she's going to discuss this now, but she didn't want to. And it's just always in a circle. And, now she's saying that she knows that the police allowed Dawn to leave from his home to go search, and that she knows where he went, but she's not going to talk about it. I don't I don't know. I just can't really see the police allowing Dawn to leave his house when all the police are up there talking to people and searching, and they got all the search teams out there, and I just don't know. I mean, Dawn says he did. Jody Sue's backing that. Um, I don't know. I don't know. That just seems kind of sketchy. I just have to question what everybody says, you know? Um, but, knowing her, she's always adding to the story or adding a little more she's willing to talk about. And, who knows, maybe next week she'll tell us where he went. I mean, we don't know. Um, but one thing she is sticking to is that scream at 4:30. Um, do you believe there was a scream? I mean, the sheriff's department says it's unfounded. You know, I, and I wasn't going to say this, but when I went to the sheriff's department, not this last visit to Rogersville, but the visit before when I went to the sheriff's department, um, they we did have a little conversation that I didn't put out, and they did say that they knew who she was, and um, they don't consider her very credible. Um, I can't even elaborate on that. That's pretty self-explanatory. Um, they don't find her very credible. I, I have a hard time believing. I think there's probably a truth here and there, just like with Dawn and Candace and everybody else in the area. I mean, there might be a truth here and a truth there, but it's like having to sift through what is fact and what is made up is like a job in itself, you know. Oh my goodness. But but she also says that she heard Candace calling for Summer at 6 p.m. I mean, if she heard the scream at 4:30 and there's still a time discrepancy. Let's say she heard the scream at 4:30. Let's say that's true. And she heard Candace calling her and they started searching at 6 or whatever time they actually got out there searching. What happened between 4:30 and 6? And Jody Sue talks about seeing a car pull into Dawn and Candace's driveway earlier that day, and she said she never saw it leave. And I cannot recall what kind of car she said it was. I may have to go back and try to find that, but she said she never saw it leave. So, was there a car that came up there? Um, is something tied to that car? I don't know. Was there even a car? You see what I'm saying? You just have to try to decipher everything that everybody says. And then there's the thought, well, did Candace drop Grandma off, after the swimming hole? And then she left and then came back and then did the whole scene with Summer disappearing. I mean, did Summer even get out of the truck? Did the boys even see her? I wish we could know what the boys know. I feel sure that they've already told everything that they know by now. I mean, maybe there's going to be a break soon. Wouldn't it be a blessing that we find out the truth on her birthday or before her birthday? Oh my gosh. That would be a blessing. And if she did drop Grandis off, where did she go with Summer? Did she go to Jonesboro to meet Dawn? Because we know the Subaru is going to be pinging in Jonesboro, right? I mean, that's just my opinion. There's a reason that he took that vehicle to show that he was in that area. It's an alibi, I think. But why would you need an alibi if you haven't done anything wrong, And it's hard to believe for the average person that a parent would do something to harm their child, but it happens all the time. But something kind of interesting on true crime commentary, she said that she heard. Now, I haven't heard this. She heard that the pings from the cell phones were inconclusive. I don't know about that because I haven't heard anything that's been released about the phone call pings. Um, so that could be just a speculation by someone or, something like that. But if that's true, that's not good. And that could be possibly due to being like in an area that doesn't have service. And there's a lot of areas out there that doesn't have service. I know because I've driven around there, and I've lost service several times. That's not something that I've thought about before, but that could be a reality. What if they went somewhere that didn't have service and couldn't get a ping? That's a scary thought to me. Um, and something that I mean, see, like I'm saying, there's little bits of truth in everything. And there's something that Jody Sue says that I do think is credible, is about the dogs. She says that those dogs know her, and every time that she's around there, and those dogs yap and bark like crazy, okay? Well, she says every time. And I believe that. They had a lot of dogs at the time, and I just know by the two little ones we have that if someone's there, they bark. And these are outside dogs, and in a kind of a secluded area. So when a stranger or someone they don't know comes up, I do believe they would bark. And if they're barking at Jody Sue, a neighbor that's been there for years and years, then if they didn't bark the day Summer went missing and somebody did go up there and talk and get her, then in my opinion they knew the property. Like I've said all along, they knew the dogs, and the dogs didn't bark. That's a possibility. I don't know. It's just so much to consider, And something else that that came out like a few days ago, I guess, really. On, I guess it was JLR's channel, but it was MGL talking with Dawn Wells on the phone, and she's recording, of course, because she always records conversations, but that Dawn said, and he said it live, that he would bathe with all of the kids, and he would get done with one and hand them off to Candace, and so on and so on. But these are older children, and I don't know. He doesn't have any business bathing with any of them. It's highly inappropriate, in my opinion. Um, Very, very wrong, and kind of, and shocking. You know, um, it's different, like a child taking a shower with a mom or something when they're little babies, or little tiny kids. But I've never heard of children 13 to 5 bathing with their father. Um, that's alarming. Um, I don't know if y'all have heard that. Did y'all hear that? The level of dysfunction in this family is just mind blowing. And what mother would allow her husband to bathe with the children like that? I guess we have to be patient and trust that everything will come out in the wash, and they'll have to answer to the police for their wrongdoings. But hey, listen, I want to bring up again, what should we do um, for Summer's birthday to honor her? Um, it's kind of really a sad day, um, because it's going to be coming up 8 months and she's still gone, and it's like hard to get any real leads to where she is. And um, if y'all want to do a live, like, let's we can do that. Y'all get back with me and let me know if you want to do that, and just kind of like have open discussions about her, and just keep her name out there, and very much uh, in the public's eye, because we have to keep her name out there. We have to keep the pressure on. We can't just like stop talking about her and let this go. I just think this is too important, and maybe even bring down a lot of people if it leads to that direction. But it definitely, whatever has happened needs to be exposed, and um, some justice needs to be brought to this little girl. Um, so, okay, I will get back with you, and y'all let me know what you think, and y'all have a good night.